What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? So some interesting news this close to Supercross. Rarely do we see a team lose their manager 3 weeks before the season, but it's happened. And remember that little guy that screamed at Vince Friese on the podium? There's a backstory behind this clown, and I'm going to let you know who this idiot is, and he's a lot worse than what he just showed there. What we showed was just, kind of a drunk fan, but it's way deeper than that. The guy's a real piece of crap. I know it's getting colder, and all those aches and pains hurt a little bit more, so try Nano-Extreme. This is the only pain cream that I've ever used that works this good. I'm telling you, I use it on my shoulder, I use it on my knee. Anything that hurts, I put Nano-Extreme on it. I really like the smell. It's not super strong. I mean, it does smell a little bit like, some of the other pain creams out there, but it is not nearly as strong, and I really like it. Use code COOKSY at checkout and get free shipping. Nanoextreme.com. Head over to Complete Racing Solutions if you're worried about your training program or you want to take it seriously and do it the right way. Coach has all the materials you need to have a good training program. He's got a bot where you can ask it questions, and it's got preloaded questions from Coach Rob that will tell you exactly what you need to do. And of course, you can always reach Coach Rob if it's not there. But Coach, for $15 a month, you can join the Complete Racing Solutions team and have a really professional style training program for yourself. CompleteRacingSolutions.com. And you guys remember Lightning Rod Energy? I love this stuff. This is an energy drink that truly is healthy. The problem is you guys bought it all. You sold them out for a few months. It's finally back in stock. So head over to Lightning Rod Energy, get your restock, and use code COOKSY. There's a discount anytime you put the word COOKSY in there at checkout. So get your Lightning Rod Energy. It's back in stock.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So there's a big shakeup at Star Yamaha, this huge team with all this personnel. Jeremy Coker has been the team manager there for quite a while now, and he does a really good job. He is one of the guys out there that you look at and you go, yeah, you don't hear much from him. He does his job. The riders like him. The team likes him. So it was surprising to see a change made 3 weeks before the season. There's not really a worse time to leave your team than 3 weeks as a manager before the season. That's when you're trying to get everything dialed in. You're getting everything loaded for the truck. You're working out all the details. Right now, team managers are working as hard as they do all year. They're busting their butt, making sure everything is ready to go for the season because they have to have this stuff there. It has to be ready to go. They got all their riders, last minute testing, all that stuff. So luckily, they're a pretty established team, and he's in charge of the 450s. You got Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, Justin Cooper, and Christian Craig. So those guys are all pretty established. You're not going to have any fire drills probably with those guys, but it's weird timing, and it's not something you typically hear about. Typically, you hear about team managers when the season's over, or sometimes during the season, towards the end of the season, when the team manager doesn't do much more than just be a cheerleader and do regular stuff or negotiations for the following year. But 3 weeks before the season, it is very strange to see a team manager leave. So where he's going to Triumph. Triumph fired Bobby Hewitt a few weeks ago. That's a really weird firing when they got rid of Bobby Hewitt. Bobby Hewitt was doing a great job. He launched this team, and they were well on their way to having a successful second season and then debuting the 450 next year. I know they were a little bit behind, and they wanted to get that 450 program for 2025. They weren't able to do that, but that's okay. I mean, I would rather they wait a year and get it right than put something out that's half-assed. But the reason they got rid of Bobby Hewitt was a lot more about politics than it was about actual racing and what he did as the manager. It was some real garbage. Bobby Hewitt does a heck of a job at being a team manager and getting them out there. What he doesn't do is ass kiss and play these little games. Triumph has brought in Ricky Carmichael and tried to make him the face of the brand. And he controls budget. He has all these weird things that he's allowed to do. And the executives worship the ground he walks on. So when there were questions about him, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't actually have the invoices. I have seen them where they double billed when they were building out stuff and milked that Triumph budget out of the race team for Ricky Carmichael and his buddy Matt Walker. So it's really strange to me that these executives have just looked away or not paid attention to that, and they went after Bobby Hewitt instead. That was really stupid. Jeremy Coker has to know he's getting into a very awkward situation at Triumph. Not only does he have the challenge of getting that 450 team up and going, he's got to manage the 250 guys And then in addition to that, he's got a whole new set of challenges at Triumph. You've got Ricky playing his politics, trying to get his ambassador money and trying to, like, anything he says is gold over there, no matter what he does. So he's got to keep Ricky happy. And it's really strange how this whole deal came about. The Star team trains at Ricky's place at the goat farm. And I'm wondering if there was a bit of meddling there with Ricky and pulling him out of that Star team. How's that going to play at the goat farm? Are they still going to be letting Jeannie Carmichael and the Carmichaels come around? Are they going to say, hey, we rent the place, you get out? It's going to be it's going to be a little awkward down there at the goat farm for a little while. But it's an interesting development this close to the season. Like I said, typically this is not huge news, and it sounds like a great opportunity for Jeremy Coker. I hope he knows the lion's den he's walking into, because he's got people above him and the people who below him. He's got to manage all of them. That is really, really hard when you become middle management. Typically, the team manager gets to say and do whatever they need to. Unfortunately, at Triumph, he will be in the middle. He's got these executives and Ricky Carmichael judging every little thing that he's going to do. So it's going to be a tough situation. Do I think he can handle it? Yeah, I think he'll do all right. I think he's probably the best man for the job because it is a difficult job. I'm going to be interested to see how he develops that 450 team at Triumph and how the 250 guys take to Jeremy Coker, because typically riders really like him. So we will have to see how that plays out. Check out Epic Garage Designs. Travis has some of the coolest garage designs. He's a motocross enthusiast. He rides regularly. Just a bad dude with some cool stuff for your garage. And I hear we're talking about toolboxes. So we might have some toolboxes here pretty soon that he can promote from Epic Garage. So check out Epic Garage Designs and make your place look badass. Ride Strapped, the coolest goggle company that I know. Chris owns this company, and he truly believes in getting kids riding dirt bikes and promoting the sport from a grassroots level. And it's just got some really cool stuff. So get your t-shirts, glasses, and goggles over at ridestrap.com. Precision Transport. This is a shipping company that you can trust. They give you tracking numbers, reasonable pricing. They're just good people. The Madden family, they take their job seriously, and customer service is not a lost art with Precision Transport. So hit up pretransport.com and get your stuff shipped where it needs to go. So at the Arena Cross last weekend, this kid jumps in during Vince Freeze's podium speech and calls him a pussy.
Hello, we're here. We won every moto. We're having fun. We won every moto, and
he got right in his face. I mean, close enough to be on the mic. It was disgusting. When you win a race, you earn that podium speech. When you get up there, that is your time. And for anyone to steal that and do what this kid did, it is disgusting. These riders and athletes put their bodies on the line, battling to earn the right to get up there, thank their sponsors, and say whatever they want to say. And for this kid to think it's okay to jump up there and be a complete a-hole is just wrong. I don't care what he thinks of Vince. If you want to boo Vince, go ahead and boo him. If you want to yell that from the side, go for it. But fans have no business interfering on the playing field, the racetrack. There needs to be a hard line between fans and athletes because it won't go well. Trust me, this little 90-pound kid was not safe after he did that. And had anyone knocked him out or done anything, I'd have no problems with it. He entered the field of play by jumping up there and getting in Vince's face. I mean, look at what happens to these guys when they run on football fields. They get clobbered. As fans, you have a right to say or think whatever you want. And I encourage that. I think Vince kind of likes the booze. But what you don't do is you don't cross that line and enter the podium speech. You don't run onto the track and you don't touch them. You don't do any of those things. This kid does not know any of this. And what triggered me so bad, I was going to let this go. But this kid, Elijah, or whatever his name is, this little clown from Idaho, apparently he's a real bad person. And I had so many people send me his Instagram telling me what a piece of crap he is and how at the local track he is just despised. I guess he got like 10th in the C class at Loretta Lynn's. Not a bad finish, but yeah, no big deal. So he's one of those kids that goes out there and acts like, the world revolves around him. He went out in the vet practice, and I guess he, was getting close to some vet riders, and some of the vet riders asked him, like, can you not be in our practice? They separate practices for a reason, because there's speed differential, and it can get dangerous. The last thing we need is some punk going out there and causing an accident and having a lawsuit. It's kids like this who have no respect for anyone and think the world revolves around them. That is why these tracks are getting closed down. He goes out there and either gets hurt or hurts somebody. because he's doing something because he thinks he got 10th at Loretta, so he has preferential treatment, which is so ridiculous. That's who this little clown is. And then for his dad, and I understand this is probably why he acts this way, the vet rider that I spoke with said his dad, rather than, say, hey, I'm sorry my kid was out there and I'll keep him out of the vet practice, freaked out on the guy and also said, oh, he's so good, he can go out there. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Eli Tomac. Don't go out there in practices that you're not supposed to be in. Big bikes, never ride with minis. Vet and beginners, like people that do that. Pros do not go on the track. It's not a matter of skill. It's a matter of the speed and closing distance. And these rules are there for a reason. It's to keep everybody safe. This sport is so dangerous, so dangerous. When done properly, when done stupid, it gets incredibly more dangerous. After jumping in Vince's face and acting like a complete drunk tool who probably just had his first beer, he puts the caption, "Some heroes don't wear capes." Seriously, he did this. That's how he feels. He's proud of this. He's proud to act like a complete hooligan. This kid needs an ass kicking. This is part of this whole generational issue. There's a whole generation of kids that think their words and their actions, there's nothing you can do because there's laws that protect. Yeah, they need a good thumping. And this guy messing around with vet riders, he's going to get it. Trust me. Somebody's going to thump this kid. They'll probably sue and act like they're the victim. But I'm sorry, society's a little bit better when people know there's consequences for things they do. As to his dad, it was funny. The person I was talking to, I'm like, listen, if I did that and a vet rider came over and yelled at me for that, my dad would look at me and go, what are you doing? Why'd you do that? You're lucky that dude doesn't kick your ass. And he'd probably let it go. That is how I was raised. And that's how I know a lot of you guys were raised. And man, we need more accountability. Let's stop protecting these little baby kids that think they're untouchable. They're not. You're 90 pounds. You will get thumped. And he's very, very fortunate he didn't get his ass kicked at the Boise Arena for acting like a complete dumbass. And I'm not saying kids don't do dumb things, but then to have the gall to go back, post it on Instagram, and brag about it, trust me, this guy doesn't have a clue. He really needs a serious check. And it's coming. Sooner or later, it's coming. And speaking of real scumbags, we just had Village Creek that was shut down due to a lawsuit. We found one of the culprits. This guy's on Instagram bragging and saying he's happy he got him shut down. Listen, there's accidents at the track. We all have to have a certain amount of responsibility. Just because you had an accident doesn't mean you should shut it down for everybody. Let this clown know that behavior like this is not okay. Right now it's a virus in society and we've got to do something about it, and it starts with accountability. So yeah, I'm going to put these guys out there and you guys can do what you want with it, but they're not going to do it in anonymity. I'm going to let people know who they are and this is what they've done. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you guys later. Members, remember that drawing for the helmet coming up very soon. If you haven't joined or you're thinking about joining, you might want to do it before we draw for the Coach Rob custom painted CRS helmet. So anyway, thanks guys. Here's your member of the day.